Record. There we go. Recording. Sorry. Hello, EXP agents from the great state of Ohio. We are Jim and
Stacey.
Lambright. Well, we rehearsed that. So, and as you can tell by this, we are part of the. That's our early warning system dog. We are part of the. You better go get him. EXP Military Network. You might want to put him out on the front porch. Stacey will be right back. This is the tactical part of it. So look. So EXP, as we know, is a giant company. They love giving back to local communities. And one thing they want to give back to is veterans and veteran spouses in the local communities. And because our company is so big, they decided to break it down by state. And then within the state, break it down even by areas, and even in areas down to a small, where we have high participation into cities and towns in those areas. And we're super excited about that. And because there's so many agents, right? 87,000 and growing to 500,000, there is a national leadership that has broken down into selecting state leaders for each state. And that's us. So there we are. Great. And then within the state, we're going to be looking for area leaders, volunteers. This is all volunteer. And we'll be looking to support veterans and do things like that. In your local community, it's going to be great. It's a wonderful opportunity for you. We're glad you joined with us. So in true military fashion, we're going to tell you what we're going to tell you. Then we're going to tell you, and then we're going to tell you what we told you. And then we're going to be done. I like keeping these short and sweet, so we'll be talking fast. We're going to be going over the SOPs, right? Standard operating procedures, and also FAQs, the frequently asked questions. So let's get at it, Stacey. I'm going to share our screen, and let's get to this right away. So we can see right here already, this is the EXP Military Network. Hang on one second, and one more click. There we go. You should be able to see that. And this is the Ohio. So if you're in another state and you're watching this, this applies directly to Ohio. A lot of the information will be the same between the states, but just, you know, that's our logo, by the way, which will get you that so that you can use that. There we are right there. They photoshopped some abs in on me. I was super excited about that. I was in the Air Force for 12 years, and Stacey is a military spouse. And as we know, military spouses, that's probably the hardest job. That's probably harder than being in the actual military. So what is our mission? We are a veteran-centric global community within EXP dedicated to the unique needs of military veterans and military spouses building real estate careers. We are veterans by veterans. We are for veterans by veterans, bringing camaraderie and collaboration to the virtual world and in real life. This is the important part, the real life part, right? We create and share programming at the national and state level for networking, education, veteran resources, PTS and mental health, career acceleration, mil spouse careers and community, agent attractions, and an active referral network. Stacey, what's the most important part of that slide? Because that was a mouthful.
The veteran resources, more so the community. I think everything else, the potential for leads, people joining your team, stuff like that. That's not our focus whatsoever.
The secondary purpose of this is to generate more business for you, more agent recruits to EXP, and also more referral business. That's a secondary side. The main focus, this was pounded into us by the national team. Community, we're looking to give back to the local community, to veterans who, as we have known, has given us everything there is, because freedom ain't free. We all know that. Somebody shed their blood for us to be free. Okay, so the EXP Military Network National Program States, go ahead with number one.
Community building, a community of military and military spouse members, agents, and EXP staff offering national and state programs and events.
And we're going to be talking about events here in just a second. Number two is education, programs on VA financing. Oh boy, who's an expert in that? Realtors, right? Military markets, business and personal growth, wealth building for the military, and more. Number three.
Veteran resources, programs on VA resources, benefits, disability, PTS, and mental health for veterans and military spouses, agents, and staff.
It's a big deal. As we know, approximately 22 veterans a day are taking their own life. We're losing more in the homeland here than we were losing overseas. Not a good thing. And EXP and all of us as agents want to kick in on that. So Valor Career Transitions, that's a training and mentorship series dedicated to preparing military and mil spouse agents a successful transition to real estate. Look, sometimes they want to get into real estate, right? They had their military career, they want to get into real estate. We want to help them transition into that. As we all know, for military people that got out, one of the biggest complaints veterans have is this: what's next? What do I do next? I don't know, right? Because the military was so structured and you had the camaraderie and everything like that. We're going to try to build that on the civilian side now for our veterans. It's number five.
Military spouse incentives. Provide a community that attracts military spouses to corporate opportunities and real estate careers with EXP.
Yeah, sometimes when the military member is deployed, maybe the spouse wants something to do. Maybe they want to be a military member. We have a great example of that on our real estate downline, Jessica Lombardi. She's sometimes in New Mexico, sometimes in Florida. She's a military spouse, and boom, she came into EXP and she's blown it up. She's an icon agent. Great success stories for military spouses to become agents. And the number 6, relocation referrals, an active relocation and referral network to exchange business between military and mil spouse agents at EXP. And you're gonna like this. We actually have a map that I'll show you here in 1 second. It wasn't on that one. Let's talk about what are state squads. Stace, go ahead with the first one. Like, how do we make this thing smaller and more local? Go ahead.
Fun and visible community for military spouses and supporters at EXP. Community. I think we want a presence of EXP inside your own local community.
Yep. And the more participation we have, the more we can segment that thing, and you can be the point person there. In real life events. In fact, our first event, you're going to see a slide coming up here in a second. It's coming upon us very quickly. In like 6 weeks is Veterans Day. We want to launch something in Veterans Day, and we'll give you some ideas on that. Also, education and programs. Next one.
Yep, education for our state agents on military issues, military business, and more.
We want to celebrate the successes of our agents in business and in military communities, right? A lot of the military, as you know, was about getting recognized for the stuff you did. Veterans get out and then they don't receive that anymore. All they do is get yelled at maybe by their boss. We want to make them feel good. So what's next?
Volunteering with military programs and charities in our community.
Yep, and we're going to talk about some frequently asked questions of some do's and don'ts. Make sure you stick around to the end because it's very important. Do's and don'ts. There are some things that could really destroy this program. We want to make sure this program runs great. We want to assist the needs of our military members and the community when required.
Bring resources on veteran benefits, mental health, and more to our members.
Resources, it's going to be a big deal. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So upcoming national events, we just talked about it. But before Veterans Day, we have first the EXP Con Military Happy Hour. That's Tuesday, October 11th from 3 to 6. Location to be announced. Stay on workplace, guys. I'm going to show you here in a second. EXP MILNET workplace group. That's where everything's going to be moved because things get moved around, times get changed, and things like that. But that's what open to everybody. Come have a beer with a veteran.
Military EXP Con Military One-on-One Thursday, October 13th.
Yep.
1 to 1:30.
1 to 1:30. That's cool there. And we're also going to have the military breakfast and celebration of our heroes. One thing to point out on Friday, October 14th, the breakfast, the free food is already booked. So you're not going to be able to get for the free food, but you can come in at the 8 o'clock after the free food is gone. And you're gonna be able to hear everything that we're launching. This is exciting. EXP gave us a sneak peek at this at the shareholders convention, and then boom, we launched it. And we're just off and running, and we're going to adjust on the fly. Right? Every plan is perfect until you make contact with the enemy. Right? It's a military saying. We're not really saying things to the enemy, but sometimes scheduling and things like that can be the enemy. All right, coming up next, happening soon. Our state kickoff meeting. Congratulations, it happened today, September 30th. Hey, we're launched. We're off and running, but we're still looking for volunteers. We're definitely looking for area leaders, but maybe you're like, I don't want to be a leader, right? I just want to be an area leader. And then Stace, what's the next one?
So Veterans Day, November 11th. Now, just like this program came together very fast, and then we have your little acronym that you use for that. What was it?
Ready, fire, aim.
Oh, yeah.
We're ready, fire, and then we'll aim. Okay.
It came together very fast. So Veterans Day, they really are wanting to see EXP in our communities and our cities. Maybe we do Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus for now, some of the bigger ones, but we don't have a lot of time to prep for it. So one thing that we've done here, Jim and I, in our Central Ohio, is there's already a lot of events planned by bigger associations, bigger organizations,
restaurants, sports bars.
So just put a couple of phone calls in. They were very happy for us to jump in and help and volunteer and bring our own stuff. And so you don't have to be the point person, but you can definitely volunteer and kick in.
Here's a great idea. We have a sports bar that's doing a veterans event. And so what we're going to look to do is come in and we're going to pick up the tab for 1 appetizer and 1 beer. And we're going to have our allied partners pay for those. Allied partners, you should probably know this, right? Loan officer, your lender, your title company, your home inspector, your home insurance guy, your home warranty. There you go, right? Those people chip in to pick up the tab, right? So it doesn't have to come out of your pocket. So look, we're going to do bi-monthly Zooms, not bi-weekly, bi-monthly Zooms from here until Veterans Day, immediately following the Ohio broker meetings on Wednesdays. We'll get that out to you. Stacey and I are going to create, how are we going to do that? How are we going to communicate?
So it's going to be workplace chat. We're going to talk a little bit about the fact there's only going to be one workplace group, which is the national.
Oh, that's
one,
right. There we
the
have a
Mill
slide on
Network.
this, don't we?
Yep. And so, but we will create a Ohio workplace chat.
Yep. And of course, we are going to record these because we're going to do them on Zoom. But the reality is this: are you really going to watch the recording? Probably not. So maybe just stick around after the Wednesday state meeting and get in. Yeah, as you can tell, I talk fast and like to get things done quick. So join us on Workplace and Facebook. So there's two groups, right? There's a workplace group,
Two national groups.
and go ahead and tell them why it's two national groups.
Well,
Because they got rid of all the other, veterans
they
groups.
want all the resources, events, timing, information all in one spot.
Right. So if you were part of another group somewhere, some military veterans group or something like that, you probably noticed in workplace it got deleted, it got dissolved. Okay. So there's going to be a workplace group. I know this link's not clickable because you're watching this on YouTube. So we'll get you a copy of that down in the comments. And this is the workplace group. And then right here is the Facebook group where you can go and you can join Facebook, and we'll get you set up with that. So next one here is this is why you may want to join. And I think it would be a great idea is because why?
I was just going to go back real fast. When you go to the workplace group, the MILNET group, it makes you automatically fill in your name, where you're at, what branch of the military.
You want me to show it to them?
We will get a copy of that. And that's how we're going to, anybody that registers under the workplace MILNET group, we will add you to our workplace chat.
EXP Military Network, when you join this,
you automatically have to fill out a form.
You have to fill out a form, and then you'll be put into your proper state, and that's where we'll be communicating with you from there.
To the chat.
To the chat group, right? So on the chat group, if you have something individually to ask, what we're asking you is that you reach out to Stacey and I directly, because sometimes those chat groups get just 100 bings going off a day. We're going to try to keep it if it's just specifically for the group, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So this is the EXP Military Network group, and there's also one on your actual Facebook page. Okay, so I learned this the other day: stop share and then reshare the PowerPoint. Otherwise, people will not get to see it. Beautiful. So this is our referral locator map. So here's what's going to be great. They're going to ask you what branch you were in, or whether you're a spouse or something like that, and the city you're in and the areas you cover. And this is how you're going to find people in an area where you can refer veterans to veterans. It's going to be great. And you'll be able to use that. We'll have this link for you. Also, some really cool swag. Check it out. I'm wearing some right here, right? You got the hat. I like that black one, right? You got the shirt you can get. And coming very soon, state-specific ones. Ladies, we did not forget you. Look at the tank top you can wear here coming into the winter in Ohio. That should be great for you, Stacey, to be wearing that, okay? That's on a Shopify. They're adding new stuff all the time, so make sure you check in there. Supplies are limited. We noticed it's sold out pretty quick, so you'll need to get in there and keep going back and keep trying with that. So for more information, here's how you can get more information from Stacey and I, right? We'll create a workplace chat for the area leaders to communicate with the entire group for the area leaders. Individual questions or concerns can be reached out directly to Stacey or I. What I'd ask you is this: please include both of us on your communication. We pretty much share the same brain when you say Stacey. Put both of us on. Don't email us. Please don't email us. We get 1,000 emails a day. Text us. Here's our text or workplace chat, and make a little group. You and the both of us, right? And then we'll be able to answer your questions very, very well there. Great. So that's the portion on that. So let's do frequently asked questions and wrap this baby up. Here we go. Housekeeping. It's FAQs. Everybody in the military understands.
I do want to stress the reason real fast when we go to these FAQs, please listen to them. It's been pounded into us as the state leaders. We are one of the few. EXP has grown so massively that they had a lot of affinity groups that were started out there, all with great causes, all with great charity, connected to great charities. But EXP as a whole had to disconnect from them because they can't monitor it. The legal team can't be involved.
We're going to get right into it. Let's do it.
But reason why it's important, very few affinity groups remain under EXP's umbrella. We are one of them, but it can be taken away at any time if we don't follow these rules.
Follow the rules, man.
Logos and marketing. Do we have marketing standards? Absolutely.
Yep. We're going to be creating those. Can you create your own marketing? One word, no. Absolutely not. Don't do it. If you get caught with it, you get called out on it, and they are going to be checking, believe it or not.
Keep in mind, this is in its infancy. As we grow and as it gets there, it's going to be a lot easier. So right now, bear with us. They will have like a Canva library drop, make your own, that type of thing.
Look, if it's in workplace, you can share it. Just look at it that way. It's there for you to share. That's how it's going to work. And we'll get you guys the Ohio specific logos and stuff like that for the people who sign up and join. What else we got?
membership communication list. Right now, it's only available to the squad leaders, but
Okay.
we told you how to get on there to be added on there.
Yep. So basically what they're asking is, there's 87,000 of you. Please don't reach out to the national leadership, right? Reach out to the state leadership, and then we'll funnel it through chain of command type stuff. Everybody is military, they
There
understand
will
that.
be a monthly newsletter. It will be in workplace group, the MILNET group.
Great. It's going to
Yeah.
be in there. We're also going to post some stuff in the Ohio workplace group too and please help us out, share it, comment on all that good stuff to recruit. Look at that military term, enlist other people. Okay. Where else are we at?
Next one, planning and budgeting. There is no funding coming from EXP.
Right.
So you can do events and sponsor and have your affiliate partners come in and sponsor. That is absolutely fine. The only thing that we don't is please do not collect donations from religious groups, charitable groups, political groups. We've got to make sure we walk the line on that one.
This is an apolitical group coming from a guy who's very outspoken and loudmouthed about political stuff. This is not the place for it, or we can get shut down.
And we cannot hold any money, we being EXP MILNET. So no money can come into us. We
Right.
cannot accept donations. Now you can fundraise for other charities, other events, but the money never comes to us.
We are not a 501c3. Donations coming in, like for your allied partners to pick up the tab on the Veterans Day event, that is not tax deductible from a charitable thing. But for a business expense for them, that's for them, on them, but not from charity. We are not a 501c3.
And
We are for profit.
We will make this document available in the Ohio Workplace Chat.
Yep.
And we're just hitting the major bullet points right now, which is social media.
Social media. Can we create our own state workplace group? No. If you do, it will get shut down. You cannot do that. In workplace, can you create your own state Facebook group?
No.
No, you cannot do that. Why? Because here's the reason why. Because there's too many lawyers in the world. No, just kidding. If any of you is an attorney, I'm just kidding. Here's the thing. As EXP becomes bigger and bigger, and you look so much taller than me in this thing. As EXP becomes bigger and bigger, there are going to be a ton of companies that are going to want to take us out. They would love nothing more than somebody to screw up on some Facebook group and sue EXP and try to take us down, right? So follow the rules.
So the
When you're
state-
at the top, everybody wants to take a shot at you.
Go fast. The state is going to communicate workplace chat group, just to make that clear. That's how we'll communicate with our Ohio volunteers.
Yeah. Yep.
They will be monitoring your social media, absolutely. We're
almost done. Last one.
Signage.
You can go to the store and you can buy things right there from that. Also,
all-
they're going to be making marketing materials
It
for you
all
to
boils
use.
down to, please don't make your own stuff. We have everything you can need: banners, flyers, shirts, t-shirts. If you do have a third party, they did say if you have a third party donating some of these items, because obviously we're buying our stuff at our own expense right now, you can do it, but you have to connect it through legal first to okay before you print or before you do anything like that.
If you wonder why I'm looking back there, because she's holding the paper behind
Yeah,
my head.
keep
So
it.
that's why I can't see it. Getting sponsors. Who can sponsor? Any
Yep.
company or individual can be a sponsor. The only restriction is that political organizations, political
Yep.
candidates, religious organizations, other controversial organizations, right, are not asked to sponsor. Also, on the EXP MILNET group, a lot of military people have a certain way they think and things like that politically. Don't post anything in there that would be considered political at all, because EXP does not want that. They want to be very inclusive. And so that
Real
is
fast. Can
go
we
ahead.
sponsor an event? Oh, we pulled it down.
Go ahead.
They just made a point. If you sponsor an event, if you like fundraise, it is you doing it. It's not EXP. Just so that you know.
right.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so perfect on that. So we thank you for watching that. There's gonna be more stuff that'll be coming out. We'll be getting the workplace chat group going here this week, and we'll have that up and running.
First of all, if you haven't joined the workplace group, military network group, do
EXP
that.
Military
Yep,
Network
MILNET.
Workplace
They
Group.
call it MILNET.
MILNET just
Yep.
for short, right?
Yep.
Everything's an acronym. I can't believe it's not EMP.
All
Oh,
right.
EMN, sorry, not EMP. Some people just had a breakdown there. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great one. We'll see you soon.